All right, so first step, y'all got to distribute your -4. Y'all should have 35 minus 8x minus 16. All right, next, I can go ahead and add up these three numbers, guys. If they're already on the same side, they're like terms, we can go ahead and add them up. 35 minus 16 is 19 minus 3 is 16, I think.
Yeah.
All right, so that's what we've got. Now, what do I move over? Plus 16, move it over is minus 16. All right, so now we divide by -8, and I agree, negative divided by a negative is going to give you a positive 1/2. All right, that will be the first problem in the morning on the test, that type problem. All right, let's go to number 2. 2x to the third plus 13x squared minus 7x. All right, LeVar, how many answers should we find on number 2? 3 answers because my biggest exponent's a 3. What do we do, guys, if you got every number's got an x?
Take it out.
Take out an x. All right, so do that first. Now, how is doing that step going to help you find the extra answer?
Because it equals x equals 0.
Yeah, when you bring out an x and you got an x by itself, it says x equals 0. That takes care of your third answer. You can get rid of it after that. You don't need it. All right, I want you guys to factor this out. I'm going to go over the factoring steps. Now, remember, if you guys want to do quadratic formula on the quiz, you can. Or on the test, you can. But you got to know one way to do it, either quadratic formula or factor. I'm going to factor this. I know we still got a lot of you guys that have missed some days, still don't know how to factor. All right, y'all ready? All right, when I times the first numbers in each parenthesis, it's got to equal the first number in the problem. So it's got to be 2 times 1. 2x and 1x. Make sure you get an x with it. All right, when I times the last numbers in the parentheses, it's got to equal the last number in the problem. The only thing I can think of is, 1 times 7? That's it. All right, now, are my signs going to be the same or are they going to be different? Different. All right, I don't know if this works or not. We got to add it up to see if it gives us 13. How do we add it up? How do we check it? Do the smiley face. All right, hope I times these two. Let me fix that. Or just 2 times 7 is 14. -1 times x is -1x. That gives me 13x.
That's right.
So it's right. All right, now, let's talk about if it's not right. Hope when I add it up, let's say it doesn't give me, let me fix that. All right, let's say it didn't give me 13. Then what you would do is flip 1 and 7, you would flip them, put 7 and 1, and that normally fixes it. So if it doesn't work one way, it should work the other when you flip it. All right, so this answer is going to be a +1 over 2. This answer is going to be a -7. I found 3 answers, 1, 2, 3. I got you, Jason. I'll bring you a sheet. All right, so I showed you guys how to do this one. Y'all do number 3. It's the same kind of problem. You make sure you show me 1 step, okay? Now, you were out yesterday, right? When you were here Tuesday, at the end of class, I gave y'all a sheet. Find it for me. All right, let's see what y'all got on 3. We got 6x to the third minus 7x squared minus 3x equals 0. All right, they all got an x in common. Take out an x. So my first answer is x equals 0, and I can get rid of that. Yeah, always right here. All right, now, I'm going to factor, but if you guys want to do quadratic formula, you can. Does this one factor? If it doesn't, then we got to do quadratic formula. We don't have a choice. All right. 3, 2. Yeah, 3 here and 1 there, and you got it. All right, so look looking at Caleb's, he had 3x, 2x, because it's got to equal 6 when you times it. All right, now look, what if we do this? Y'all just watch me. Signs got to be different. Let's do this. This isn't going to work. So let me show you. That's -3. That's +6. When you add that up, you get 3. That doesn't work. So how do I fix it if it doesn't work? I swap 3 and 1, and that should fix it. All right, so let's put a 1 there and a 3 there, and we'll see if that fixes it. All right, so 1 and 3. Now, this should fix it. If it doesn't fix it, then we might have to try 6 times 1 for 6, but most of the time it's not going to be that. That's -9 plus 2. So yeah, now it works. All right. So again, if it doesn't work one way, guys, it normally works the other. So what's this answer going to be if I just do it in my head? -1/3. What's this answer going to be? +3/2, because when you move -3 over, it would become a positive. Yeah, because you're setting them equal to 0. I'm just skipping those steps, trying to get y'all to do it a little quicker. All right, so everybody good on those two? You got those two in the morning on the test now. All right, let's go to 4. x4 minus 2x squared minus 15 equals 0. All right, why did I write minus 15? Why did I move it over? Yeah, you got to move it over to fact. Now, we started doing these either yesterday or the day before. We haven't been doing these very long. What's got to go here and here?
X squared.
X squared. Good. All right, what's got to go here and here? It's got to equal 15. 3 and 5. Weston, which one's positive? Which one's negative? All right, now they got to add up to give you -2. So let's think about it. 5's got to be, yeah, negative. Good. All right, so that's your first step. Just factor it normal. Now from here, you got to know how to find 4 answers on this problem. All right, you get 2 answers from here, 2 answers from here. What do I do on the first one? I take +3 and move it over. That equals -3. Now, you take the square root. Can I do a square root of 3? No, there's not a perfect square for 3. But I do have to do something with the negative. So plus or minus I√3. Now, how does that account for 2 answers? Yeah, the first answer is positive I√3. The second answer is negative I√3. But you can just leave it like that. No sense in doing the extra work. All right, you guys try the right side. Find the other answers. All right, so we got x squared equals +5. What's my final answer on the right side? Yeah, don't forget your plus or minus √5. If you can't do a square root with it, just leave it. I can't talk. Just leave it square root of 5. If it won't break down, just leave it alone. All right, go to 5. All right, 5's got something special on it. What is it?
Square root.
Anytime you got a square root in the middle, that's what you're going to start your problem with in both parentheses. All right, now you guys try to factor that out. Are the signs going to be the same or are they going to be different? Got to be the same on this one. Now one of them, actually we keep them both on this one, don't we? We normally throw one out. Even though it's got a number in front of the x squared. And again, Kevin, if you don't like doing that, just point that for me. Some people are better at that. All right, so I got -3, -2. Signs had to be the same. They're both negative. All right, so this one is √x equals 3 and √x equals 2. What do I do from here?
Square them both.
Square both sides. This answer's 9. Square both sides. 2 squared is 4. Now, we normally, this is the one problem, guys, where we normally have to throw out one answer. How do you know when you got to throw an answer out?
It was negative before you
If it's a negative, before you square it, it's not going to work and we throw it out. This one's okay, we're good. All right, so I showed you how to do 5. Maybe y'all can do 6 all by yourself. And then we'll just check it. All right, so we got 1/2 in the box. All right, so Hope, what do I have to divide all my numbers by before I bring them down? Good. 2 divided by 2, I bring down a 1. Then I bring down -3 over 2, -11 over 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So make sure you get the first step right. Make sure you don't forget to divide your numbers. All right, now looking around, some of y'all got stuck on this one. All right, how do we start? Always bring down the first number, so I bring down a 1. All right, JP, what's next? 1/2 times 1 is 1/2. JP, add those up for me on your calculator, please. Tell me what you get. -3 over 2 plus 1 over 2.
-1.
Everybody's getting -1. All right, so I bring -1 down. Now remember, I'm never going to give y'all problems that's got fractions on the bottom. You may have fractions up in here, but on your answer, it's going to be integers. It's going to be numbers. 1/2 times -1 is -1/2. Add them up. Somebody see what you get. -6. Now I can do this one in my head. 1/2 of 6 is 3, so I know it's going to be -3, and it worked out. All right, so now the rest of it should be pretty easy. You can factor or do quadratic formula. I'm going to do quadratic formula. If you want to factor, if you're faster at factoring, go ahead. So I got 1 plus or minus 1 minus 4 times 1 times -6. All right, I'm going to give y'all a chance to punch that in your calculator and see what you get. I really hope that I would have gave you one that had an I in it, because you're going to have one. And we might practice on that when we get back from break. I might give you one quadratic formula that's got an I in it. I want you to practice on that.
Whoa, what about the back?
Don't worry about the back. The back's not on the quiz, Wes, and that's something we're going to do on the graphing calculators if we have time. I don't know if we're going to have time.
So what's going to be on the test?
Everything on that sheet I gave you yesterday that you're supposed to turn in, that's the test. Pretty much everything on the front of this worksheet. All the problems 1 through 6 at the top and the ones at the bottom. But on the quiz, it's just going to be the ones at the bottom. All right, so I got, let's see, if we add this up in the calculator, it's going to be 25. It's going to give me 5. 1 plus or minus 5 over 2. So the first answer, 1 plus 5 is 6 over 2. I got 3. 1 minus 5 is -4 over 2. I got -2. All right, so my 3 answers. 1, 2, answer 3 is right here. Y'all make sure y'all circle all 3. All right, we're going to break. Number 3, got the back done. Hey, you finish this 2 right here, or at least finish one of them. Hey, finish 4 too. That's one. Definitely gonna have them test. Finish that when you get back to that. I'm just gonna finish. I just did. I did it wrong, but I just started like, all right, so what you had then, yeah, okay, but the only problem with not dividing it by 2 is that it won't always work. So I don't want you to miss one just because you forget to divide by 2, but I can show you this. You had 2, you had -2, and you had 12, right? Once you get to here, Jason, you can normally divide them by 2 from there, and it'll still work. Okay, yeah. But that's what some people say. Why do I have to divide it by 2? Because it works on this one, but it won't always work. And I don't want you to miss one.
Aside from the weekly ones, I got those as well. And he was trying to kill people, so I was like. This was the one I wanted, so I got it.
No, but I can.
That's like rancid, bro.
You're going to get people.
Girls. I saw it yesterday when it was on your table.
Yep.
That one is about 18 years old.
Jesus. Them smile.
That's a girl. I've got some like that.
I might as well bring my ring.
Well, I was going to get food poisoning. I don't have.
The more days you wait to eat them, they're back.
God bless.
That's why I couldn't do it now.
All right, do me a favor. We need a little more practice on doing quadratic formula on one that gives you an I and gives you one that you got to break down in the calculator. Y'all do this problem on your warm-up as our second warm-up problem. We need to do this before we have the quiz because you got one like this on the quiz. You guys plug this in the quadratic formula, see if you can do it.